Okay, welcome to another episode of Jason Blaze. Doing a Fallout build here. I think I'm gonna do the mid-century um under the bridge build just outside Morgantown. I think that's the one I want to do today. So, without any further ado, let's just hop in and start building. Well, with a little ado as we load in. Since we are loading into a private world, this does take a little bit longer. So we're just going to go ahead and wait. Here we go. I have about 3 under the bridge builds that I do for bases. This is my current that I have up right now, which is just a pyramid in the middle of the river. We're going to head over to build the bridge build. And the bridge build is just outside of Morgantown. It'll be right around here. I'm just going to head to the Morgantown train yard. Actually, I'll just head here to Big Al's Tattoo Parlor, and I should be able to get there pretty quickly. I will be doing a base in Burning Springs as soon as I choose the best place for me to build my first one, which I have not chosen yet. Oh, hey, Ghoulie. Let's take a look. Yeah, still got a while to go. Now, when I first played the game, building on a bridge was really good because it just protected you on more sides. Nowadays, it doesn't really matter. Nothing really comes at you can't handle. All right, so here's where we're going to build. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and put the camp thing at the top. Oh, he's a little not where he usually is. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it real quick. All right. Let's do this about halfway. About halfway. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right about here. So first off, let's okay, we're back. Basically I had to start over because gravity pulled something up into there, so I'm probably just gonna show. You've probably already seen it in the edit, but I'm just gonna show what happened. And in the edit. So let's go ahead and get these in. Looking at that, just trying to get it halfway through that pillar. And then okay, let's pull that out a little bit. It's right there at that wall. All right. Go ahead and put that down. Let's see what the still needs to be a little bit over. Let's go ahead and take that down to move that in free mode. And move over a little bit. A little bit too much. It's gonna attack me. Yeah, we've got robots. Just iBots. Lamest attack ever. It's pretty close. That line, however, is not. Looks pretty good there. It's a little bit too far in there, so probably just a smidgen. So I raised it there too because Fallout doesn't like when you only move things a little bit. The engine definitely does not like it. Looks pretty aligned there, pretty aligned there. It's a little off, but you know what? I always say it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to look good. So with that, we're going to go ahead and see how far up that the walls go. Pretty high, goes up pretty high up there. I think I do want to lower this a little bit, at least here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and put these walls in. And go ahead and put this wall in. So now we're going to take these down to about here. Take those 3 down. But what I want to do is I want to get in the windows for here first. And we'll see. Did seem to move a little bit over. Alignment's good there. I think we did pretty good. Over the median, so that's good. Like that. Oh, insult bot.
Approach and I.
Not insult bot. Just lit, huh? Running late. All right. So I'm gonna have the kitchen there. Gonna have that there, so that's good. Let's go ahead and use this to get some floors in here. This is just going to help me place in the windows the way I want it. I guess it's just temporary floors in before I put in the rest. It's just designed to allow me to get the walls in a little bit better around it. And I do think, yeah, we will have to take those out and put them back in just to put in those walls. So first thing first, let's put in a big bay window here. I actually want that on the outside, so I think I'm gonna have to put in some foundation. I'm gonna take these out for now. Okay. And right there is where the big bay window is going to go in, and then we're going to have a high window there. So let's get those walls in for that high window. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to put one in the bedroom too. Those windows are going to go across from there to there. Not in the kitchen though. And let's put in those greenhouse walls. If those aren't going in, I actually have to lower this down a little bit. So let's just take the wall from the bottom. And oh, I know what the problem was. I was not in the correct. So I want that here. So let's see if these snap. Yep, they snap in. So the problem was I just didn't have. It was in the wrong mode for it to snap in. Can't snap in if it's not snapping. Okay. Those are in. Let's just go here. Put in some more floors. These are temps, so it doesn't really matter what they are. You know what? Let's try that. Let's take it up a little higher. That won't work anyway. Just gonna think about raising those up a little bit just so the lines would align, but the more I think about it, it's probably not gonna work. So we're gonna just put it back. Okay, windows going in greatly right there. So now for these, I'm gonna want to put in the half walls. Let's go ahead and get to the army. These half walls and put those in. Just has a nice little window edge right there at the top. Now for here, I'm going to want a nice line going down just for symmetry. So I am going to go ahead and, at least on this side, put that in there. Now on the flip side, it doesn't matter to me as much. So I'm going to actually just, on the flip side, I'll just put in the stone wall. I just like the stucco. Not that it matters once you put the wallpaper on, you don't really see it. But there we go. All right. And we are going to need a pillar in there. So let's go ahead and change that to collide. Seems to work best for putting these into the walls. And right there just makes that look a little less awkward. So that is the bedroom. That is built. That is ready. Got a nice line going there, going here. Do I want to have the line going here or up? It's a good question. We're gonna do it. And this is where I'm gonna have my vending machines. You know what? I think I want the army base one on there too. I could put a wooden door thing in there if I wanted, but for some reason I just want to put those rustics in. Who knows why? We all have our preferences. Now what I am going to do though is I am going to lower that down a little bit. Or I could raise that up a little. That's just to have a better line there. I'm going to go ahead and remove that for a second and put in a different. Right there. Looks like I probably need to move that out a little. Okay. Fix that. All right, looking good. All right, going down this way. And we are going to need to put wall around there just to put the outside wall on it for the decoration. Then I'm going to put a ramp going up here for that. And this will ramp up into there, go nicely. So, we now want to put in a wall there and a wall there. Okay, and let's go ahead. Doesn't seem to want to go in. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that to put some foundations in below. See if we can get a wall in there. Probably not, but if I can, nice. If I can't, not a big deal. Actually, looks like build area might be slightly out of the build area. Not the end of the world. Let's see if I can fit a foundation in there. I think it's just too far out of the build area, and that is perfectly okay. Okay. That in, so now I have to take care of this. Not sure why that's red. Maybe because of this? Let's see. Maybe because of this? This should not be red. Maybe because of this? That is very odd. Let's try a full floor. Let's try a full floor here. Maybe because the foundation below it. So weird. Okay, is it maybe this? This makes no sense. Okay. We will do it without doing that. Nice to see everything illogical hasn't gone away. You know what? I'm just going to have a straightforward wall there. Let's head up to the army door. It's so weird. Why? Why would it not accept that? Alright. And that, and then that. Alright. There we go. And then for the doors there, we were doing the triumph. Okay, just, nope, that's the red button. There we go. That is in that way. Going across. Looking good there. Looking good there. Looking pretty solid. Alright, let's turn on my light just to give myself a little bit more light. And let's get this in. Actually, I think I need to do those first. All right. Zooming through everything. And we need to have something there just so I can put the wall below. So it'll actually click on something. Alright, I don't want that extra line in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these out for now. It'll be easy to place in because they are there on the other side. That does not want to go in, so what we're going to do is we are going to put a small floor. Right there. Then go back to wall. And I should be able to right there. All right, looking good. Now that those are there, we are going to actually just go ahead and place the foundations back in, and they should be good. Make sure they're in the way that we need them to be. Go in that direction. Like I said, this particular floor tile is just really good for making sure your tiles are in the same direction. Some patterns don't need it, but it just, in case you ever make last minute changes, it's always good. So we're going to go ahead and remove these floors now. They won't be coming back. But then we're also going to remove these for now too, because we need to put in the bottom floor or the bottom wall for that as well. It does not seem to want to go in. Well, we're going to have to put in small walls. So in order to get that in, we're going to just go to floors. I'll go ahead and put this in here, just to keep that at that level. We're going to have to put in a full-size floor here, just so it'll connect to that. We're going to go ahead and erase that. We're going to put in these half floors just because. Make it a little bit easier. Maybe a full size there. Oh no, because stairs will be going there, so that won't be needed on that side. Go ahead and put in that. And then let's go ahead and put in those walls in now. See, they are all in. We could actually see if that works for these. If not, I'll just take it out, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in there too. Going back to floor. Let's see if that will help make it look cool. And you only see it around the edge on the stairs, but it will be nice to have the pattern in, if it works. I guess I could lower the stair in free mode, make it work. I think that's worth it. Just have a consistent look across there. Just think of it like scaffolding. All right, let's put in those foundations again. All right. Looking good there. Pending area. I'm going to want to put a roof on here. Let's go ahead and put the foundations I'm going to use to just kind of reinforce this in the back here. Let's go ahead and put those on. This will just minimize damage if I get attacked from this side. Not that that's a big concern. And it's easy enough to repair if it happens anyway. I don't like that wall there, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace that with maybe Brotherhood of Steel. Concrete. There we go. All right, let's get the roof in. So I'm going to go ahead and build up some walls here. Can be any wall. And we're going to go to the responder roof, which it already was on. And we're going to go ahead and put in front part first. The reason I like the responder roof is I really like having the rim on the roof. The thing I don't like, however, is that you get this line here going a different direction. I think that really kind of defeats the whole purpose of the roof and definitely makes it look not as good. All right, so to battle that, what I do is I'll actually put a floor down and put more floors in that way again. But I'll actually put a floor down and I'll just choose a stone pattern for the floor. And the white spring granite, I don't know, what do they call it? White spring tile actually is about the same color as the rim. So it does work. So I'll put that there, but once that's there, I can actually put it in other tiles. I'm going to go ahead and take this one out for now, just because it'll be easier for me to put in the roof in there first. Because if I don't put the roof on those, there'll be inconsistency in the girders below. So heading back to the roof, and we'll put the roof in first here. And we're just going to put in this. I'm going to go across that way. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the floor tile over it. And like I said, this really just looks a little bit better than those roof tiles. You don't have that weird line going a different way. You could use something else. The coal floors work well for this too. So you have a couple choices. So now let's go ahead and remove these walls. These were just here for putting in the roof. And one of the things I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to put a wall in here. And I'm probably going to need a floor to put it in because I want it to look the same on both sides. And we're just going to put in a small floor there and a small floor there. And then let's put in one wall, and I'm going to go to the Brotherhood wall, I believe. And I just like this kind of latticed wall. Oh, that is not going to work. Wait, I actually just want it on that side, and I guess I'll just put a metal thing on the other side. Because I just want this showing on the outside. Now, I am going to go ahead and go back to columns. We're going to put in some small columns. Here, and here, 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 there. We're going to put in some large columns here and here. And that's just going to give it a nice look. I don't know what you would call that, but I think it's a nice look anyway. And for this opening area right there. So going in here, we're just going to go ahead and build in other things, but I'll be right back. All right. I am going to need another floor right there on the top. Probably going to need to put in a floor to put in that. But actually, I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and put in a wall here too. Let's go ahead and replace that. And let's put in this here and this here, because when you have two in the midsection there, that when you do the half walls on top of each other, you do have to put in a floor to put one in to double up the wall. So heading over to the stucco one, the rustic stone. Hopefully I don't pass it, which I did. All right, so the bottom ones, let's see if I can put in the stairs. Not, I'm gonna have to float them in. Nope, they go in. Nice. A little bit of a pause there, though. I think I know how to fix that. So let's just grab that stair. Go to free. And let's raise that stair up there. And now it's smooth. And raise it smooth going that way too now. And it shows a little bit more stair. So I think that's aesthetically better. So what I'm going to do is this bottom line, I'm just going to make black. So we're just going to go to the black wallpaper. I'm actually kind of curious what it would look like with weird pattern on it. No. does not appear to let me select, so go into free mode and see if I can in free mode. All right, got a color on there. Let's go ahead and with this part, I'm going to do that reclaimed wood I love. Or I could do stone. I'll do a dark stone on the inside. I'll use the reclaim somewhere else. I don't like the dark stone. It's just too dark. Do you want to add a little bit of color in here? At least here. And that still does not look great. Wow. That's horrible. So, well, it's white. Let's see how it's with the stone. Looks a little bit better, but I feel like I'm going to have to move those forward a little bit. So, or put another wall in. Let's just try putting another wall in and see what happens. Yeah. Let's go for that. Before I do that, let's go ahead and put in the reclaimed wood. Oh, that just looks so much better than that. I'm going to keep that. That does look better. I don't know if I'll use it there, but I will use it here. It still doesn't look great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put in a wall here. Actually, I'm just going to grab this wall. Let's do it with the person. I'm going to move. Actually, we were in free. We're going to move until that disappears. Once that disappears, that is good. It's fairly lined away. We have a little bit less there. This is going to make me change this a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and I just don't think that's enough room for a kitchen. So I am going to go ahead and modify that up, and we're going to make the kitchen a little bit bigger. And then what we're going to do is I need to put those in, so let's get back to doing in those in. I can go there as long as I go there. Oh, what happened there? And let's go ahead and put those walls in. Now, of course, if I were into making raider looking type builds, I wouldn't care about that dirt there. But I kind of like the idea of making places that I wouldn't mind spending a weekend at a B&B in. All right, now that that's in, let's put those foundations in. We did sacrifice a little bit from the living room, but I think we had enough space, so I think it'll be fine. So going ahead and putting in the foundation. And that worked. I actually didn't bother removing some of it, but that's fine. We should have enough budget here. All right, let's put a new stairs down. And I will have to raise it again. I can raise it, and then I can actually move it to the side as well. I mean, you'll have a little overhang there, but I'll probably put something in there, so it won't matter. I'm moving it anyway. Might as well. Okay, so now for floor up there at the top, or wall up there at the top, I'm just going to put in a white wallpaper. I think too much busyness, or I can do the stone, but that's probably not going to look there. Maybe I'll do brick. Because it's just not going to show as much. Let's check out a couple of the other bricks and stones. That looks good, actually, because you can't even see it, and it's a lighter color, so I like that. But you can barely see the dust there, so that's good. For in here, let's maybe go with brick like that. I'll hide that with the bed, and the brick here this way, and brick here this way. All right. Now, on the outside, I want a light line going across here. So the best way to do that is going to be the concrete blocks. And you do get that dark line there, but that's okay. I don't mind. And let's go ahead and put that in there. I do want this on the outside as well. Need to put a pillar in there. Might as well do it now. Looks good. All right. Now for the line down here, I want to put something a little darker in. So let's go ahead and no, not the tile. I think the stone. Be good. And do I have one on this side? No, I don't. I just have that. So I'm actually going to put that stone in here too. And right there. Actually, we'll just do this wall on that dark stone. And there. And that's looking pretty sharp. I don't know if I like that. I think I prefer the stone there. It's not perfect, but it's okay. I could probably change to get rid of that line there. I could actually change, see if something else looks good there. Let's try this. Let's try the enclave. I don't think there's a line for the enclave. It does, however, give you a kind of a thing there, but I can linkage, it doesn't work as well for that, but that's okay. Yeah, server. I don't think I like that there. Actually, I like that better. Does this look good over here? I'll put a bench or something there. I do actually like it better than the stone, though. Alright. We could actually put in that there. Let's try something else. And what we'll do here is we will actually pull this forward. And that actually does a lot for it. Let's pull this one forward a little bit too. I think I need to actually get closer to pull it forward. That does clean it up a bit. It just sacrifices a little bit of space, but don't have that in. So maybe we could actually use a different wall here. Wallpaper in here now. Stone in a bedroom is not ideal. Let's look at some of the wood options, or definitely, that's a little much. That's a little much too. Brotherhood of Steel priority is we have to get wallpaper. We definitely stand to make some, as we repopulate the wasteland, make some Brotherhood of Steel wallpaper. Because that's what people are going to want and need out in the wasteland. I actually kind of like this for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Pretty happy with that. Happy overall with the look here. Definitely happy with the look out here. Don't need that pillar. Let's start populating this in. First off, let's start getting some furniture in here. And we are going to get a corner thing in here. Move back the snap. Now you have to be careful here, because if you try to use snap up here when you're this close to the roof, it will go in the roof. And that actually happened to me. And I had to start completely over because it just wasn't going to let me remove the piece. I mean, I guess I could have gone underground and then gotten it out, but there's no guarantee that would have worked. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in. And there. Takes it to that point, but I think, let's see if we can go a little bit farther if we use the long one. Because it is a little bit different in size. Doesn't quite take you there. So I think it's actually better to use the other one. Putting that there. There, and then we'll put this on as an end cap there. It looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and put this here. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reverse. Well, let's put a sink on the other side first. That is not really going to the corner here. Let's see what we can do. Double sink. All right, got that in. It's looking pretty good. Let's get them going this way as well. Get a refrigerator in there. The cleanest one we've got. All right, looking good. These, however, yeah, they're fine. Although I feel like that should be a little bit in, but doesn't have to be perfect. All right, now for here, we're gonna need a stove. So we're gonna go into resources and crafting. We're gonna go ahead and pull this stove in. Let's see if this will go in. This has a stove top. So with the gravity, I might be able to get this in. We're going to see, though. It may just jump up to the top. It did not. And we got it in. Looks pretty well aligned. I'm happy. I'm not touching that. So, we do have a stove in now. We have that in. We're gonna have to get some water made. And 6. There we go, boiled water. Super duper got in, so probably have an extra one now. Let's go ahead and go to resources and producers. Let's get our tea and coffee in. As well as Putting that in snap. Put that right by the stove. Seems a good place for it. Soup. Anyone want soup? We have soup. Oven door. Go ahead and put that right there. And cookie jar. Go ahead and put the cookie jar right there. Okay, tea machine. Put a tea machine there. I cannot move it around very much at all, otherwise it will go into the ceiling and be lost, and then you can't make another one. Only allowed one. So let's put in a coffee machine next to the tea machine. Just to give people some options. One thing I like to do with surfaces is I like to have a cutting board. So let's see if I can put in a cutting board. I think it's in surfaces. There it is. All right. So I like to put a cutting board in. Just have a cutting board right there with a knife. And it went up. So I could not do that. Oh well. I might be able to put one here. Let's see. I can put a cutting board in right here. I cannot. It went into the ceiling. There's that gravity I was talking about. So I don't see it up there. Go up top. And see if we see a cutting board sticking out up here. Kitchen would be right about here. No, it's in the bridge. Or under the bridge, I'm not sure. But it is not accessible. So we will not be trying to get that. So let's go ahead and replace these in with the... Not that one. This one. I like that one because it continues the same color from concrete. We can use several things here, but I'm just going to continue with this. Put some mats down. Oh, that's actually doing concrete. All right. Just going in here. Kitchen floor, we're definitely going to want something nice looking. Let's do the Foshnot tiles. And let's put a Persian rug down. Ooh, I like that one. But the red's nice too. We're going to have to move the snap. And let's rotate. And let's just put that there. That's the cleanest rug I've seen in Fallout so far. So I definitely like these Persian rugs. Even though it's the same thing regardless. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you later. And there's an example of the gravity again. Whenever you're under a static stone fixture in Fallout, if you're too close to it, it will just automatically try to push it higher up. That's good enough. All right. We're going to go ahead and put in some power resources while we're here. There we go. Now hidden. Putting in my my favorite vending machines. They really are my favorite vending machines. I don't know why. They are. I'm just going to put in... Actually, we'll put in 3. Why not? Oh, it's sticking out there a little bit. We are going to put... probably put something over that. Anyway. Let's put in some utility here. There we go. And going to the crafting. And let's go ahead and put in this bench. Tinker bench. Let's put in a chemistry set. Or do the rest of these. Just because I can see the alignment a lot better when I'm doing it by hand. Alright. Let's put in a armor bench. And let's put in a weapon bench. I am gonna put that in right to there. And there are the basic benches in. I'm actually going to move this one a little bit more in this way. Move this in a little bit. Align this up a little bit better. And that looks good to me. And then actually going to put in some a shelf, right there, and then move these in just a little. Give a little more space on both sides. Okay. Okay. And storage. Put that in. Get the equivalent one here. Maybe pull that out a little bit. Let's put in a stash box right there. And put in a doctor's bag right up here on top. All right, that's in. We have that in. Will these go in here? Let's find out. The top versions of this. I think gravity is probably going to take them from the bridge, but we'll find out. Go into surfaces. We are in surfaces. And let's see if we can put one of these in. We can. Who knew? But not there. Interesting. Let's just put this right there. And that's right there. It's a little, just a little bit there. And Captain Beefy. Or, I don't know, let's see if we can put in the pots and pans. See if they want to go in there. They do. Okay, I like that. And then, let's put in some lights. And in my opinion, the only proper kitchen light is this light. So, we're going to put one right here. We're going to put one right here. And there isn't really room to put one right there. So, I think that'll do. Maybe put one right right there. Maybe put this one here instead. I'll take that one. We now have kitchen lights. Kitchen's looking pretty good. Maybe put something on the wall just to fill that space. Signs. Oh, wall signs. And that looks great. All right. I'm going to put a fireplace in there for sure. I wonder if the thing on top will fit in. It does. Let's see what it looks like from the top. It does not go through. Nice. All right, looking good. What floor are we gonna do here? I don't want to do the light wood. Maybe the medium wood. We have the reclaim in there, so it does kind of have to look good with the other wood. You know what? I am gonna do the light wood. I think it contrasts back well with that black right there. Then here, let's do this for the entrance. Okay, that is looking actually really good. We have that there. I'm gonna put the door there. Oh, I'm just kind of hanging out there. All right. So now let's put in what I want to put here, which will be the surfaces and this bar right here. So this first layer here. This is far enough down, I'm not worried about the gravity. do want to kind of have that right about there. Alignment-wise, that should work. So, putting that in. And then... let's get this matched right here. Why am I going up here? I'm okay with that slight bump difference there. I think it'll look good in the long run. Don't know why I like these couches so much, but I really do. Probably would not buy them in real life. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna do it like this throughout. I think that'll look a little bit better. Okay. Actually don't like the legs on that, so I'm just gonna submerge it just a little bit. And my favorite painting all of Fallout is that. It is just the best. Second best is this one. I don't know if that's really over a fireplace type thing. One of the things I don't like is I don't like having to turn on the fireplace all the time. Quick way around that is just put a small fire in there. Go ahead and open that. Let's put something on the wall there. Where are those? There we go. Got that there. Looks pretty good. Probably want to put a lamp somewhere in here. I'm just going to put a ceiling fan in. Keep the room cool. It's not going to work though, because it will submerge in. So we're going to put a lamp in. And we're just going to put a lamp right here on the top of this. Maybe the yellow one. Alright. Look at a couple lamps in here. Not the same one, though, of course. And a couple lamps here. All right. So it looks pretty full. Even though there's actually not a lot in here. Kind of nice. Oh, let's put a radio in here somewhere. So I'm gonna actually embed it in these, like embedding the radios. So let's go to, I believe it's in furniture, appliances, and maybe electronics. And then I'm just going to go ahead and embed that in right there. I'm going to go ahead and move the flowers directly under it. I'm not going to turn it on, just in case. I think it's probably fair use at this point, but who knows. Now we need some lights out here. So gonna go ahead and put in some ceiling lights. Nothing fancy. Just along the center. Now we have a very well lit porch. Pretty clearly lit. Now this area might actually have a few things. I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple turrets in. I don't always put those in. Run your turrets. Let's put in a little heavy laser. And let's put in a couple missile turrets. And one machine gun. be more than enough to handle that. And we could add a few more things in here just to spruce it up. You could always add more yourself as well. I'm going to go in decorations, lawn and garden, and who doesn't like watermelon? Now remember, do not try to do this in free mode. It will throw everything up higher. Give us a little bit of food supply there. I have that in there. We could put in painting or some sort of wall decoration in here. Not sure what, but... Or a shelf. Some things on the shelf if you want. Let's go ahead and see what our options are. Signs, maybe not. Tapestry, no. Wall art, accents. Maybe a clock in here somewhere. Let's put a Starbucks clock somewhere. Maybe a Coca-Cola clock. Put some holiday stuff up. Novelty. Yeah, we could put a painting up. That seems very appropriate. So this is pretty much the base. I'd say it's pretty much done. Simple base. Has everything you need. Looks pretty sharp. So let's go to free mode. Now, let's go to photo mode and get some pictures of that. Really wish it wouldn't change the defaults. I wish it just kind of stayed there. Definitely not much speed here. Go ahead and leave photo mode. I got a front picture of it. And let's just go into free build mode and look around. Oh. Wait for that. Oh no, got disconnected. All right. Well. We'll go into an actual regular server this time. right, looking pretty good. Only thing maybe I'll add is maybe something hanging on the outside for Christmas. All right. Well, with that, thank you for coming. Please like and subscribe. The more support I get, the more I'll be able to do these. All right. Talk to you later.